whittling on his father's wooden leg while he's asleep. All right, Tom. Is Doc still in Utah?
As far as I know, yes. That's where
I thought you said last night he was in Idaho.
No, Utah.
Oh, Utah. Why did I think Idaho? I kidded your suit last night, and I apologize. You know, I shouldn't come out and make fun of Tommy's clothes. That's very nice. Your clothes will never be seen on Miami Vice, but it's... Did you know Tommy carries a pocket beeper in case Dr. Ruth returns his call? Well, there's not much in the news. How many of you know what yesterday was? Whose birthday? Francis Scott Key, who was born August 1st, something like 1799. He wrote the Star-Spangled Banner during the British bombardment, I believe, of Fort McHenry, right?
Mm-hmm. Good. Right.
It's been on the top 40 list for about 40 years. Right after he wrote, little-known historical fact, right after he wrote the national anthem, he tried to sing it and forgot the words. It's difficult to remember the words of the Star-Spangled Banner, except the last two words, play ball. It looks like there's going to be a baseball strike on Tuesday. That's really bad news, unless you root for the Cubs. How many are for the owners in this controversy? How many are for the players? Do you know what the average salary for a Major League Baseball player is? It was in the paper today, $300,000 a year. And they want more money. Some of their demands are a little outrageous. Some of them are asking for summers off. Teams are pretty rich. They want a designated wine steward. You know how they could have settled that baseball strike? If they'd have given it to Congress in the last half hour before they started their vacation today. Congress would have settled that. Because they would want to go on vacation. Do we have a sketch scheduled for tonight?
Yes, we
do. You know, you're the perfect audience for this sketch we have.
Oh, yeah.
No, because it's a dynamite sketch, and the sketch will just carry itself.
Yeah.
If there is a baseball strike, you're going to see more... Well, I guess television's all in reruns anyway right now, right? In case you missed a program, the network is going to give you a chance to miss it again. That's the way reruns work. Well, the circus is in town. How many of you know the circus is in town? All right. They had a parade down Hollywood Boulevard. You should have seen it. Bearded ladies, men in tights, women on horseback with whips, and those were just the spectators. Bert Parks is in the news. Bert was fired, they let him go in 1980. He had always hosted the Miss America pageant. He says in the newspaper today that he's been contacted by a representative of the organization who asked him to come back, and Bert turned them down. Yeah. They wanted to bring back the old Bert. Why not? It worked with Coke. Why shouldn't we bring back Bert Parks? Classic Bert. How many of you flew out to California on vacation? Have you paid for your return ticket? Because if you stay past August 17th, airline fares are going up. Did you know that? Average of 4%. I never worry about that too much. I fly Al's Airline, which you probably have never heard of it. It's, you know, Al's Airline has a great slogan: the proud bird with a golden rubber band. Al's Airline. I'm having fun. I don't care. Al's Airline is a no-frills airline. Even the pilot does not have a window seat. Okay. We got a good show for you tonight. And as soon as we find it, we're gonna... No, we have one of the most talented people in the entertainment business today, Mr. Carl Reiner.
Yeah.
Very funny young comedian George Miller is here tonight. Gal, who's been with us before on the show, she used to be on a show called, it was a short-lived show on NBC called The Duck Factory. She was in The Toy with Richard Pryor and Jackie Gleason. Teresa Ganzel is with us. And the mighty Carson art players are going to perform. And we'll be back in just We'll be right back.
During this summer, many Americans visit our national parks and forests. Camping out can be very exciting, but there are many dangers. The Tonight Show, as a public service, is pleased to present one of the nation's foremost authorities on surviving in the wilderness. Joining us now live from Yellowstone National Park is a veteran park ranger. Welcome, Ranger Gus Grungie.
That ought to take care of that.
Oh, you just threw some water on a campfire?
No, on a couple lying beside the campfire. Get out of the park and take those batteries with you. I've been here every weekend. Don't make it nice for decent folk.
I say,
It's a decent park for decent folk to spend a summer vacation.
I suppose the leading cause of forest fires is the carelessness of humans.
Why do you suppose that?
I don't know. I just imagined that from my...
Well, you suppose wrong.
Really?
A lot of people do. Actually, it's the carelessness of rabbits.
Rabbits?
Yes, they're the main reason of forest fires.
How can that be?
Well, you know what rabbits do a lot, don't you?
Yeah?
Well, after every time they do it, they smoke a cigarette and they throw it in the woods.
I hear that bears can be very dangerous.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah, indeed, they sure can. No, bears can be real dangerous, yeah.
How can you avoid being attacked by a bear?
Glad you asked that. One of the reasons to avoid being attacked by a bear, never wear these.
What are they?
Those are meat eyeglasses. Bears will sniff those out right away.
Meat eyeglasses.
What?
No, just so very unusual.
Yes.
Anything else?
Yes, I think so.
Would you take a minute to show it to us?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's the most dangerous thing you can wear in the woods.
Yes?
Are these honey-covered shorts. Bears love honey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of
Bears
danger...
will bite your butt. You wear
Speaking of danger, a lot of people are afraid of snakes.
I beg your pardon?
A lot of people are afraid of snakes.
Well, there's no need to be.
No?
No, you just think of snakes as long, bald kitty cats without feet. It's the way people perceive snakes is the main thing. Bald kitty cats.
What do you recommend for bugs? A bug spray?
No. I'd recommend a bug roll-on. Hard part is getting to hold their little arms up while you put it on. We have a lot of campers here in the woods, don't we?
Ranger Gus, there are a lot of legends about creatures that inhabit these wilderness areas.
It's true. You know, once myself, I thought I'd spotted Bigfoot.
Whoa.
What?
I said, oh.
What does it say? You say, oh. Well, it wasn't Bigfoot. Turned out to be Ed Meese jaywalking through Yellowstone Park. He's the Attorney General, you know.
Yeah. Oh. What happens if you're lost in the woods?
Well, many people get lost in the woods, but that's easy. You can Well, you can get your directions from the sun.
Well, how do you do that?
Like this. Hey, son, I'm lost.
Turn left at the tree, Dad.
Thank you, son.
How do you feel about endangered species?
Well, I think we're two of them ourselves, right here. Well, I'm doing what I can for the bald eagle.
Well, what are you doing?
Well, I got one of them Yul Brynner's part in The King and I.
Living in a national park, you must be able to recognize an animal by the sound it makes.
Oh, yes, I can tell most of those sounds. Oh, excuse me.
Oh, yes. You hear that?
Yeah?
That's a woodpecker.
Oh.
That's a coyote.
What was that?
I don't know what the hell that was. That was supposed to be a woodpecker running under a coyote's leg, but what that was, I don't... That boggles me.
Yeah.
Now,
Boy, it must be lonely for you out here in the woods by yourself.
right now is the loneliest I've ever felt. Even with you and me here together, I'm talking world-class loneliness right now. Well, I'm used to being lonely.
Oh.
Last year, I had a season ticket behind Bob Euchre, the ballpark. That's about as lonely as you can get.
Are you married?
Well, I was. Matter of fact, the missus, she lived with me right here in the woods. But,
Oh.
well, she passed away last year.
Oh, I'm sorry. How did that happen?
She was eaten by sharks.
Eaten by sharks in the middle of the woods? How was that possible?
Listen to this one. What was that again?
How was that possible, eaten by sharks in the middle of the woods?
Well, it almost wasn't possible. I had a hell of a time dragging that sucker from the ocean on my Honda.
What do you do for companionship?
Well, you know, I teach a troop of Cub Scouts about the outdoors. And I teach their den mother about the indoors. Mr. Den mother, we got to run now. Ranger Gus is going to show you how to start a fire by rubbing ourselves together. We'll see you later. Good to see you.
Okay. Silliness tonight.
Nice.
We get silly, don't we?
Yes, Friday nights.
By the way, the Tonight Show is going to have its 11th annual singing dog contest. We started this many years ago. We asked people, I think it started out some lady wrote us a letter, wrote Shirley Wood a letter saying, I have a dog who watches the show and sings.
Right.
So we invited people here, and this will be our 11th year we have done this. Now, this is for real. If you have a dog that really sings, don't just barks, but kind of sings, you write to Shirley Wood, care of the Tonight Show, NBC. The address is 3000 West Alameda Avenue in Burbank, 91523. Let me repeat that. They always do that in those Atlanta stations. Right. To get the Popeil fishermen. It is Shirley Wood, care of the Tonight Show, NBC, 3000 West Alameda Avenue in Burbank, California, 91523. Enclose a snapshot of yourself and your dog, or dogs.
Right.
You might have a duo or a trio. And you'll be notified when auditions will be held. Now, please only enter the contest if you're within a 100-mile radius of Los Angeles or Burbank, right?
Yes.
Because NBC just cannot afford to fly you and your bitch in from 500 miles away.
It's only fair.
It's only fair. So anyway, we will have that. A couple of guys of our band are going to be doing something kind of interesting. Tonight's show, Ernie Watts, saxophonist in our band. Ernie's not here tonight. But he is going to be appearing with this quartet in Rio de Janeiro as part of Brazil's Free Jazz Festival, Friday, August the 9th. And Joe DiBartolo, our Tonight Show bassist. Is Joel here tonight?
Yes.
Joel has been here. He's also going to be making the trip. Will you be playing, Joel, or are you just making the trip?
No, I'm both.
Oh, he's going to play also. I thought maybe he was just going along saying, hey. Moving along, my first guest I've been a big fan of. Carl Reiner is an extremely talented gentleman. He's an actor, he's a writer, comedian, director, producer. He's a curtain. He's a light. Everything connected with show business. And he directed the funny new movie called Summer Rental, which opens on the 9th of August. Would you welcome Mr. Carl Reiner? Yes, show business, show business.
Joe DiBartolo plays bass for my wife when she sings.
That's true in the quartet.
Plays well enough to play with her.
Yeah, how you been?
I've been very well.
I'm glad to hear that.
I'm a little heavier than I want to be, but who isn't?
You have trouble with keeping the way you... What would you like to weigh in at, as they say in the gym?
I would like to look like you.
Oh, aren't you sweet?
Not exactly. I mean, I would like to have your body.
Uh-huh. I will lease if you want to. Timeshare?
Oh, I was so good last year. I went to Pritikin and I lost a lot of weight. And this picture I did with John Candy called Summer Rental, we had a Pritikin cook. And for the first 5 weeks, I walked every day.
You eat a lot of grass and weeds, don't you? And,
you'll eat vegetables. You eat good things, but none of them look like hot dogs or taste like hot dogs. And if you're brought up on hot dogs, for 5 weeks, I lost weight. And then the 6th week, I looked and I said, what is everybody else eating? I was eating in my trailer. I said, what are they having? Oh, a bratwurst? A bratwurst. I like to taste just a little piece. Just a little end, I'll just taste it. And that little end became bigger and bigger. By the end of 3 weeks, I was back.
Then you went on summer vacation to France, I
No,
understand.
I'm going now. Now the danger comes.
Now you got problems.
The danger comes because now, going at my heaviest, I probably will be able to fly back without a plane. You know, just balloon up. The south of France, there's no way you're going to be on a good diet. You're going to be on a great eating binge, but not a good diet.
You see, I can't take credit for my weight. Now, I was in South France for 2 weeks, and I did not gain a pound. But it doesn't make any difference. It's not because I have great discipline. It's just that the body, I guess the way it metabolizes whatever I eat.
Yeah, but do you care about food? Do you think about food? Do you say, when am I going to have my next meal? I've been with you. I've eaten with you, and you pick and you talk, and we're eating. We eat as eat. Right. And you're talking. I like eating dinner with him because he keeps the place bubbling. He chats away. He carries on this show.
I guess
you don't eat.
No, I eat, but I guess I don't. It's not a consuming thing.
No,
with me. I mean,
I'm aware at breakfast what I'm going to eat for dinner. Well, I am.
Really?
Oh yes. Most of the time.
Okay, you're going to South.
Where am I going to go?
You're going to South of France. What would you order? What's the favorite in the South of France?
Well, my wife and I are rather strange eaters. I mean, we like everything. There isn't anything we won't eat. Right. But we both like tête de veau, which is hard to get. It's only during certain seasons you can get it.
The head of veal?
Yes, the veal head, which is calf's head vinaigrette is what it's called here. And it's delicious. And it's very, it's not an ordinary dish. You do have things in it that...
You don't go in and get a fast food calf.
No.
I'll have the calf's head my way.
We like that. We like everything. I like choucroute with all the... And we went to Alsace just to see some great painter there, painted during the 16th century, Grunberg.
Well, see, there's
your
the name,
right?
That's what you have when you go there.
What? Food?
All those kind of things.
Yes, and what do you eat?
My favorite French food, pommes frites.
French fried potatoes?
French fried potatoes. That's where they started.
I know.
We do not know how to make good French fries in this country. Did you know that?
I know. I think that what we do is pardue them in restaurants, then finish them or something. I don't know.
Good French fries should be made from raw potatoes, which are cold. Then they should be sliced and put in hot grease. Many restaurants here have boiled potatoes, and they dunk them and they're mushy inside. Those aren't French fries.
Do you know the origin of French fries? Somebody was telling me. Oh, the origin of pommes frites, those things that blow up. The pommes frites? Pommes soufflé. The origin of that was a king was coming through a town, and the French fried potato, which was what they were going to serve, was cold because he came late, and they were frightened, so they refried them, and they did that. And he said, this is marvelous. How did you... It was an accident. And the people were knighted for doing that, for making a mistake.
It's like watching PBS tonight to get all this information for free about how the potato was born. When you're over there, do you converse with the locals?
Yes, I do.
Oh, do you?
Oh, yes. I studied...
I know you. You can do phonetic any language because you did it for years on the Caesar Show and all, in your career.
Double talk, yes.
You do the phonetic Italian and so forth.
But I did study in the Army. In the Army, they taught me to be a French interpreter. And
really?
Yes. But that's a lot of years ago, 9 months. It was a 9-month course, and they sent us to Hawaii, hoping that we'd find some French people there when we graduated.
Hawaii?
Hawaii. That's where we ended up.
The Army never changes.
No. They do make little mistakes. Anyway, I do...
Ask me a question in French. Can you ask it?
Vous vouliez que je demande une question en français à vous, maintenant?
Would you like me to ask you a question right now?
Right.
In
vous
French?
parlez français, vous comprenez la langue. Oui.
Est-ce que je peux l'essayer?
Oh, ça c'est double talk, c'est la parle double.
Ah, pas le français.
Oh, il ne parle pas.
C'est de mon maintenant.
He's a faker.
I'm faking. I'm faking. Except I did say one thing.
What did you say?
When I used to go into the stores, rather than to say something, I want to try something on.
Yes.
I learned when you say, "Est-ce que je peux l'essayer?" May I try this on? Dress myself. So when people would come up, if I was on Paris and some panhandler would come up, they do it in every. I would go, "Est-ce que je peux l'essayer?" And the guy says, "What do you mean? May I try it on?" And they must have thought I was demented or nuts or something, because I didn't know how to say, "Go away, leave me alone." So I'd say, "Est-ce que je peux l'essayer?"
He might have taken off his dirty, cruddy old
Yeah,
clothes.
I'd say, sure. Try it on. We got to do this. We'll be right back.
Okay.
Hey, what do you want? Okay, thank you, Tom. Okay. Why don't we talk about your new movie?
My new movie. It's called Summer Rental. It's John Candy's first starring vehicle.
He's a funny man, isn't he?
Oh, is he funny? Is he
John
funny?
Candy comes out of the Second City troupe, and he
is a genuinely... He's what I call a first banana, and he is getting his chance to be a first banana in this picture.
Do you know where that came from before we get into it?
No, I don't. As a matter of fact, I was...
Second banana is, of course, the straight men usually do the star.
That's what we are.
Right. In burlesque routines. But nobody seems to know where the second banana... There's top banana,
Do you know where it came from?
I have no idea.
Oh, I thought you were going to tell me.
No.
Even things like that don't work out tonight.
Sorry about that. Go ahead.
We'll figure. What were we talking? Oh, the Summer Rental. We talking about a clip or just talking? Whatever.
And we got a clip to show. Talk about whatever you want.
Okay. Well, let me show you the clip, and then we'll talk about John, because it's interesting what happens in this clip in response to what's happened to John lately. This clip. John goes away on a summer vacation, and he hasn't ever vacationed in his whole life. He's an air traffic controller who's burnt out. And 15 years, he doesn't have a vacation. He goes on a vacation. Things don't go well for him. He takes his kids sailing. He smashes into Richard Trenner's boat. He hurts his knee badly. So all the family, his 3 kids and his wife, are going out and having fun. And he's sitting alone at home with his bad knee, sitting in a little kiddie pool. And the next-door neighbor comes over, and it's this girl, Lois Hamilton, who says, "Oh, why don't you come over and have some tea?" Because she wants to talk to him. And I think this is... He's talked into going to her house.
Neighbor.
Yes.
All right. From Summer Rental.
Of course, she wants to ask him something.
You have good vision? Oh, you have to in your business, right?
It helps.
And you're very observant, I can tell that. So can I have your honest opinion about something?
Sure.
What do you think of these? Well, what do you think?
About what?
These.
Oh, those.
Yeah. How do they look?
Similar?
No, do they look good? I just got them.
Who had them before you?
Nobody, silly. I just recently had them enlarged.
Oh, I see.
They cost $2,000. It was either these or a chainsaw for Ed.
Good choice.
You think so?
Oh, sure. I'd take those over a power tool any day.
I would get the feeling of doing a scene like that, the man would be a little more embarrassed or awkward than the gal.
Oh, no question about it. As a matter of fact, the scene continues, and he keeps getting more and more awkward. Something came to my mind, and I'm going to say it, And I didn't mean it that way, and it's in my head, and I said, I might as well say it, because they're going to laugh, but I really meant it correctly. I was saying, that scene is going to titillate. And I mean, that's only a part of the scene. I mean, the rest of the scene is funnier. Yeah. Well, you didn't react to that. Thank you. You're very adult.
Yes.
You're very adult.
They don't look for,
yes,
non sequiturs.
You've got a very intelligent audience.
we have
high class.
We have a test outside. You must be listed in some telephone book in the United States to gain entrance to the studio, and it stops there.
Anything. Anyway, it's funny. You notice where John's eyes are right locked into his face. He did what every man would do if somebody did that to you. You just look, you say, oh, yes, fine. But John, when John started to do this picture, I said to somebody, watching John operate and watching him perform with Karen Austin, who was his wife and his co-star. Not co-star, she's one of the stars of the picture.
Yeah.
Well, we got Richard Crenna and Rip Torn.
Yeah,
but I was saying that there's something very sexy about John. He's a big guy.
I saw a poll. One of those polls conducted by, I don't know.
I was the first one to notice it, but Playgirl noticed it.
Yeah, saying that one of the sexiest men in the United States was John Candy.
10 sexiest. And I was wondering, I'm a fella. I saw that, but the women saw it, too. I guess what it is, as I described John, he's a very handsome, sexy guy, and the frame is a little too large. That's all. But the women look inside the frame and see that guy.
I also think it has to do a lot with his sense of humor. He has a sense of humor, and he has a certain vulnerability about him.
And that makes people sexy.
I think so.
Makes you sexy.
Oh, come now. Crazy guy. Oh, you're a good guest.
It's an interesting thing, but people are always asking me, what is John really like? You've been on for how many years? 23 years. And they see you, and you talk, and you tell them things, and there's a kind of an enigma about you, and that's the vulnerability they're talking about. They want to get to know you better. And if they want to get to know you better, it means they want to be with you. I think that's a sexy quality.
I think that's very nice of you to say that.
Yes. That's the last nice thing I'm going to say. I feel like I'm buttering up the boss,
We will take a break, and we have George Miller here tonight, and we also have Teresa Ganzel. So stay where you are. Thank you. All right, my next guest. Down our show. George Miller has been with us a number of times. He's a very talented young comedian. He'll be at the Ice House in Pasadena, August the 6th through the 10th, and be appearing at the University of Texas at El Paso, August the 24th. Would you welcome George Miller? George?
Thank you very much. I've been real busy lately. I'm in a new movie. It's a horror movie that takes place in a supermarket. It's called Coupons for the Damned. And I've been trying to improve myself. I just finished that new anti-self-help book, Your Crummy Life Will Never Change. And I've been out, I'm trying to do some jogging. Oh, I read this in the newspaper, so I know it must be true, that when Vice President Bush jogs, he wears a T-shirt. It says, George Bush, USA. So I guess if he gets lost and somebody finds him... But I'm trying to get in shape. I get up every morning, I turn on the TV, I do that 20-minute workout, followed by the 40-minute buffet and the 10-hour nap. Food can make a difference. A couple years ago, I was real bored with my life. I changed my eating habits, balanced, nutritious meals. What a difference it made. My alertness increased. I was still real bored, but I noticed it so much more. And I think if you're in shape, you got a better chance with the opposite sex. And I had this blind date. I want to tell you about this. And this friend of mine set me up. The guy got really personal, I thought, a little bit too personal. He says, listen, have you ever done it with 2 women? I said, no, not even separately. So then... He said, well, I want you to meet somebody. I says, is she attractive? He says, she's very nice. We know what that means. Babe, the Blue Ox is in town. So I go over to her house, right? And I'm not a chauvinist, but boy, she was really obnoxious and had the widest mouth I've ever seen. She said, well, what are we going to do tonight? Oh, I don't know. Why don't we go bob for watermelons? No, that wasn't nice. That was an insult. And sometimes comics get insulted. By hecklers, usually. A couple months ago, I was insulted by old hecklers. What do you say to old hecklers? Oh, yeah? Well, your purchasing power is dropping off. Don't get me wrong, I like elderly people unless they brag about their age. You've all been victims of that.
Look at me! I'm 94 years old.
Well, good. That means you'll be passing away soon. I like to talk about death. I think it's a great subject. I always felt sorry for Mr. Bojangles because his dog upped and died. Oh, it's bad enough when a pet passes away, but when he ups and then dies. And some people are so screwed up that one guy did away with himself because of depression over poor penmanship. Well, they think that's what the suicide note said. They're not sure. It was a little bit messy. I want to talk about TV a little bit tonight, and I always watch the news every day at 5 o'clock. If a crime's been committed and the crook gets caught, I always think maybe I could do better. Now, kidnapping is a good example. A lot of times with kidnapping, they grab somebody from a prominent family, they ask $500,000, the FBI is called in, they get caught. See, what I would do, I would eliminate the FBI because I wouldn't mess around with anybody prominent. I'd kidnap maybe 5,000 ordinary people and demand $6, $7 apiece. Yeah, the people who didn't laugh are thinking about trying that now, okay? I can't do anything illegal. I always get busted. A couple months ago, I'm driving around. I run into a parked car. Nobody's around. His tough luck. I'm not going to leave a note. An hour later, the owner of the car is pounding on my front door. It was his day off from tracking down Nazi war criminals. Oh, last Saturday, I was watching The Outdoor Sportsman. You ever watch The Outdoor Sportsman? Boy, if there's anything I can't get enough of, it's televised fishing. Why don't they just show somebody mowing their lawn? Hey, you want to watch the Super Bowl? Are you kidding? This guy's about to bait his hook. Sometimes television thinks we're stupid. Want high quality at low discount prices? No, we want to pay big dough for crappy products. Primatene Mist. The guy has bronchial asthma so bad he doesn't have enough breath left to blow out the match, so then he uses Primatene Mist, and then he can blow out the match. So get this medication. Either that or go like this with a match. And Nitol wants to know, do you take your job to bed with you? Yeah, I'm a hooker. They think we're stupid. There's no question that Grape Nuts is right for you. The question is, are you right for Grape Nuts? Well, gee, I sure hope I can qualify. Grape Nuts, the simple cereal, like Corn Flakes, is real complicated. Hey, you want Corn Flakes? Oh, no thanks. I don't want to get in over my head. This friend of mine mixes Nabisco shredded wheat and grape nuts in the same bowl. Oh, I'm anxious to try that. I've never eaten hay and Little Rocks at the same time. Do you have a problem with cat box odor? Yeah, and I'm worried about it. I don't have a cat or a cat box. Thank you very much.
Funny stuff.
Thank you. Yeah. They were applauding a lot. I noticed that.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
How you been?
I'm good. How about you?
Yeah,
I'm fine.
I'm fine, too. Sounds like a letter from camp, doesn't it? I'm fine. How are you? You ever go to summer camp as a kid?
I did one time. I'll tell you something funny. This wasn't on the notes, but I was always afraid of dog dew. It's absolutely true. I didn't want to put my sleeping bag down because I had a dreaded fear of dog dew.
Oh.
And I went there a couple of times, and then I actually did see dog dew, and that freaked me out for life.
I never went back. You're a good friend of David Letterman's, right?
Not really, but I drop his name a lot trying to get work.
Oh, I see.
No, David Letterman, one time, he was sub-hosting for you, right? He was guest hosting. He introduced me. He said, George Miller looks like the kind of a guy who sits next to a stranger on a bus and says, hey, are you going to finish that sandwich?
And that's your friend, huh?
I have my own food, right. There's a lot of rumors going around about David. I don't know if you've heard any of them. I don't think the rumor is true that just before he makes love, he always says, let's get on with it, shall we? And after it's over, that was Paul Schaefer in the band. I don't think that's true.
We'll take a break. We're coming right back. Teresa Ganzel is going to join us. Okay, my next guest has been with us before. Teresa's a very bright, attractive young actress. She's been away in Zagreb, Yugoslavia, while making a new movie called Transylvania 65000. Believe it or not. Would you welcome Teresa Ganzel? Recently returned from, did I pronounce it right, Zagreb?
Yes, Zagreb.
Zagreb, Yugoslavia.
Yugoslavia.
Have you ever been to Yugoslavia before?
No. I've never been to Yugoslavia before. I had a fun time because there are a lot of funny people in the movie. John Biner and Jeff Goldblum and Ed Begley and Carol Kane. A lot of funny people. But the thing is, Zagreb, Yugoslavia... my first night there, I did everything you can possibly do in Zagreb. I mean, it's, it's easy.
I don't know much about Zagreb.
I mean, basically, you walk around and look at it, and after you've looked at it, you kind of just go back to your room that's it.
Not an exciting, fun-filled town?
No, and the thing that a person there's a lot of free time when you're doing a movie.
Yeah.
Normally what you do is read a book, talk to people, movies, TV, but everything's in the language Serbo-Croatian.
That's the official language,
yeah,
right?
which is, not a snap to pick up.
Yeah. Because once you learn it, if you're in this country, there are a few people you can really practice with, I guess.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's anyone's second language. I mean...
Not that I know.
I learned a few simple phrases.
Well, try them out. Has anybody here been to Zagreb, Yugoslavia? Really? That's interesting.
Did you love it? Well, let's see. Vala, it means thank you.
Vala.
Yes. Well, it's one of those words you're supposed to pronounce. You're supposed to go, Vala, like that.
That's a long way from Vala.
Yeah, well, Vala. No, thank you is, nay, Vala.
No, Vala.
That's the language, sort of sounds like that. Everything is like Zagreb, Dragon Bar, Zagreb.
And you stayed in a hotel. Maybe you just say things. It's funny. You go to a country, you figure if you give an accent to something that they're going to understand you. Like if you're speaking to a Frenchman, you'll speak English, but you'll speak it in French. How are you today? Like that helps them understand, right?
Yes, and
how is the food in Zagreb?
The food is...
How are the men in Zagreb, by the way?
Everything's sort of salty and heavy and... No, you have a choice of beef.
See, just the way you say it. You see, right away, I like beef.
Beef or pork.
Yeah.
Lamb.
Eat much food.
They don't have, they don't have diet. No, everything's...
No diet goat or anything like that. Did you meet any young men in the city of Zagreb?
No, I didn't because, there's not a lot of... people in Zagreb don't giggle or bubble much, you know?
Yeah.
No.
Well, it's nice to have you back anyway.
It's nice to see you, too.
Yeah. What else is going on in your life?
Well, I went to my, last weekend I went to Bloomington, Minnesota.
Funny that turns out to be the highlight of the show. kind of an indication of the whole thing. What happened in Bloomington, Minnesota?
I went there for my 10-year high school reunion.
You're from Bloomington.
Yes.
I forgot, yes. Your 10-year high school reunion.
Yeah. And,
how was it?
It was a good time. When I first got there, I really scared myself because I got to the hotel they were holding it at, and I went to the wrong ballroom. And it was a ballroom that was having a party for the Fred Astaire dance classes.
Right.
And when I first walked in, I thought, everybody's aged so much. They're unrecognizable. And, but finally...
You thought that was your high school class?
For a second, I was so frightened. But then I got back. Actually, everybody I knew mostly improved. I mean...
when you say improved, you mean...
they looked better.
They looked better, yeah.
Yeah, no, everybody had... The pimples were gone.
Yeah, of course. Clears up.
The guys looked like men now, you know?
Yeah.
And they had...
Did you know everybody? I mean, remember everybody?
No.
That's always a problem. Did they give you little name tags?
Yes, they did. They gave the name tags with the
little
pictures.
It's always embarrassing when you walk up and say, "Hello, Bill." You know, you have to do that.
Really, thank God for the name tags.